I'm gonna sell our car, so we're gonna move to Denver down to Florida. Or Mr. Snell and fucking
on working on more manual things like my ravines outside and inside.
Yes.
J86, now that I had one of the main parts for the turret base, I could actually start making one of the first parts for the turret. And after a couple more days of just crafting and material grinding, I had the turrets, but not just one, I had 2 turrets to use. And now I was designing a place where I could put the turrets and still have them to be very effective. After going through a couple spots, I decided to put them right in between the towers. That way they have a little protection from the zombies, but still have that full 360-degree angle where they can shoot them at. On day 91, now that I had the turrets, I had to worry about 2 other things, and that would be the bullets and the power. For the power, I wanted to fuel them with lava, because that is the one thing that I have. But that means I need to grab more of these magmatic dynamos that are the actual energy source creators. On day 92, while I was getting resources to make bullets for my gun, I also kept on expanding my trenches areas, because I want to make it completely impossible for zombies to come through. By the nighttime, I had one of those magmatic dynamos to fuel one of my turret spaces, which was great. I also saw something else that was really funny. There seemed to be like hundreds of zombies just in this little hole. I'm gonna blow them up, but I'm gonna use 2 TNTs this time to make sure that they all blow up. On day 93, with only 7 days left to the final attack, I also expanded the Great Wall with another set of cactus. I spent all day on it because I also had to farm some cactuses as well. But we're literally gonna have 2 cactus walls. I mean, how good is that? With the final days coming, I did everything in my power to make my base as secure as possible. I did my best to get as much lava as I could and filled even my trenches with lava, so even if the zombies came over, they would fall into lava. Sadly, I don't think I'll have enough lava to fill up all my trenches because it takes me an entire day to get 4 buckets of lava. I decided to make a better weapon as well by making a cactus pan and upgrading it with an emerald and diamond, so it's an extra strong frying pan. I actually had enough diamonds these days to make full diamond armor and even diamond weapons, but I thought it would be funny to go out with a cactus frying pan because it's a cactus frying pan. I also made sure that my turrets were ready with the bullets loaded and the power all the way up. And in emergencies, I thought it would be a good way for me to have an emergency exit just in case if I got overrun. It would be better to be safe than sorry, so I decided to make a sky-based thing in the air. I built it quite high in the air, so hopefully it would take the zombies a long time.
Want a game like a pro?
Want a gay like a pro? I mean, what?
Tap the lens icon.
I'm sorry.
Guys, Sucks for One here. We are back with surviving 300 days in the largest mod pack possible in hardcore. However, I have some important news I need to tell you before the video.
Listen. I forgot what number I was on for characters of switching to, you know, Minecraft characters of the Adventure Time pack. So what we're gonna do is still have this rolled, yes, but make an entirely new one. That one's gonna be my free time one now.
I ended up dying in these 100 days, but I still finished it. If you guys want me just to continue this series as a normal series, like no hardcore, just normal, please hit that like button so I know that you guys really want this series, because personally, I've never enjoyed Minecraft so much in my life right now. As you guys know, this mod pack has almost 450 mods, which means multiple planets, so many different biomes, even rubber duckies that turn into demons. As you can see, we barely scratched the surface.
Day 1
This
with
could literally
Finn.
go on forever. On the other hand, I know some of you will say, oh, you died in hardcore, it's over now. Most of this video is recorded on Twitch, and I'll be streaming this mod pack all the time then, so you can also come there and tell me your opinion on this series. Also, when this video comes down, I'm releasing my own Minecraft server to all my Twitch Prime subs. Yay! Just remember to join my Discord so we can give you the IP. But in the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoy the video. It is day 201, and we are back in our fabulous castle. Today, we kind of just looked around and got our memories back on what we actually did. A lot of you guys asked before, why are you making the miners dig giant holes in your castle? The plan is we're gonna have a multi-level underground area for each of the different mods. That way we can have everything organized and separated, and it's gonna look really good.
Minecraft time.
To get to work. I had a big
Hard mode.
all my
No
resources
bonus
for
chest.
This giant overhead cave thing. In order to do
Show
that,
coordinates.
I had to do a lot of castle maintenance and a lot
10
of
chunks.
block
Friendly
building.
fire off.
Like some sort of artistic
Cave.
Be
Be careful, you're activating
period.
here.
You want
Oh.
We had to put some finishing touches and some adjustments. As you guys know, portal guns is my main way of transportation, so I want this to look like my main entrance. That's why it frustrated me how there was the whole left side was uneven to the right side. I allowed my brain to breathe for a bit because that was way advanced building that
Day one with Finn.
I just kept an eye on my miner's progress.
I think I was on Kate today.
The next day,
You know,
my
the
Twitch
skin.
chat made me realize how much smarter they are than me. As you guys know, anything in this white block's outline gets mined out. So simply putting the mining quarry one block down so it doesn't mine the top layer so there isn't a giant hazard in the ground. Something so simple will save these miners' life because I lost so many souls the last 100 days for falling down these holes. After patching everything up, I started extending my portal room because I didn't like the design of the room. Because I was making the room bigger, I had to make a temporary wall so no mobs would come attack me. Yeah, it still needs some work. The next morning, I continue my progress of making a circle behind so it's more like a cave-looking structure. The only problem is that do you even understand how hard it is to make a circle in Minecraft? It's impossible. Finally figuring it out, I was able to fill in a floor, and that's all I did. It was day 206, and it was time to build some walls. And you know what comes after building a wall? A roof. Just kidding, I didn't have time to build a roof, just the walls. It was the next day, and it was time to make this cave ceiling. Honestly, it was pretty complicated because it was like a circle shape, and you have to make it like cavey and stuff. That's all I did for the day, and there was still this really weird, ugly left side castle that needs to be removed. It's day 2A, and I really didn't want to work on no cave portal anymore.
Guys, if the music's too loud, let me know in the comments down below.
It took me a while to understand this because it was Bean and Thanos combined. Well, it was the next debating with my Twitch chat. What do you guys want to see me build? Beanos. They told me to build Beanos. It took me a while to understand this because it was Bean and Thanos combined. Well, it was the next day and it was time to start getting materials for Beanos. One of those being red roses because you need red dye to combine with the blue dye to make purple dye. It actually took me a long time to find all those red roses because I needed quite a lot of purple dye. 10 days in and we had enough material to start building Beanos. Mods make things more complicated, so I had to make something called a paintbrush in order to turn the wood into a purple color. Little did I realize that I only needed one paintbrush, not 200. After spending careful minutes analyzing every single detail of this beautiful creature, I came to a conclusion this will be the biggest Minecraft project in Minecraft history. I started building his layers because we all know that Thanoses that are beans all have layers. Wait, no, those are onions. It was getting quite tall, so I made sure to build a staircase so I could get up and down. And even though it was nighttime, I really wanted to get him done right here and now because I was already up here. That quickly came to a halt because the scorpions that sound like frogs were attacking my miners. No! Even though I made turrets in order to protect the miners, it takes them like 4.5 years to kill anything. Day 211 and I was putting in the final blocks to finally complete Beanos. All he needed now was a mouth. Art, I say, art. Get Picasso out of here. Whatever, Mona Lisa, anything art related, get it out of my face. This is the top of the topness, man. Me and my Twitch chat were both so amazed of what we just created, so we kind of just danced around for the rest of the day. It was day 212 and I now had the willpower to finish off my cave. It was nearly completed except for this giant hole in the side of the base. I just continued my random block pattern to create this, ruin feel. And I really just continued this the next day too. The only difference is that I was running out of the moss stone and it was actually really expensive because I didn't have any seeds to craft it. Day 214 and most of the cave was complete. Now we were just doing like the extra decoration stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of placing random
I can't wait to get the diamond sword and also the netherite sword. Yeah, you heard me loud and clear. I like netherite now. I'm not longer a boomer. That made me sad.
But, oh my god, it looks good. The next morning, I was so ready to take down these dirt pillars to see how it looks. I just had to
I'm cutting down this entire forest. I'm sorry, Lorax.
Wow, it was
I'm sorry, Lorax.
Korean would be so proud right now. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I actually spent one more day on this and a little bit more the next day. I can finally say that our portal room is basically done. Now we just have to add portals. It was day
I need lots of wood.
I didn't want to do anything about my base. I wanted to go on an adventure. Also, here's one of the workers like whacking at my storage system. I have no idea what he was actually doing, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. It took me a while to get my inventory in check, but the portal guns allowing me to go back to my base anytime makes things a lot easier. And then we sailed for the rest of the day. The next morning, I came across the village, and I just did my trusty thing by eliminating them all. Someone in Twitch chat told me these blocks are important. They're part of a mod called Tinker's Mod, and I can make cool things. I even came across a section of the village which had different books for different mods. I took them all for safekeeping. Look at this book. It's like Harry Potter and stuff. It's called Thaumcraft. The next day was more the same. I lowered the population of the village. I came across the coolest things like trains and stuff. I could make a train station back at home. It took me a while adventure outside the village. I found this chest kind of out in the open, but it looked super suspicious. There was like 4 pillars around it. I mean, this is a TNT giant bomb if you ask me. But turns out the loot was just terrible. I just kept traveling in one direction and I didn't find anything too crazy except for this really nice looking forest. Who knew a sunset would look so good in Minecraft? I continued my adventure.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a stack.
Too interesting except for like this cool lake in this weird biome. I also mined up
That's
dark wood.
2 stacks? Hold up.
They look really cool. Day 222 started with a bang with this sheep attacking me. Like I didn't even punch it or anything. It was literally a horror movie because the Darklands make everything super dark every 10 seconds. And then it turned even more demonic. Luckily the village police was here to save me. Their aim was so good they could even kill him in the dark. You see that guy just standing on top of that house? Well, that's a ninja and he trades ninja stars for copper coins. I quickly portal gun back to my base to get all my copper coins because they were ninja freaking stars, man. But as soon as I returned, he was already gone. This is so sad. Can we kill the entire village? These door animations is another reason why Minecraft is better than real life. The next day I wanted to leave the village and stars, man. But as soon as I returned, he was already gone. This is so sad. Can we kill the entire village? These door animations is another reason why Minecraft is better than real life. The next day I wanted to leave the village and cross the sea, but that was definitely not going to be an option. Do you see how many mobs are spawning? So I traveled by foot and I came across this cool haystack thing, but the man couldn't offer me anything. After burning down yet another house, I released my rage on these tree people. They might have bullied me in the beginning, but times have changed. I also came across like this cool industrial house. I'm pretty sure we came across a couple already, but they look pretty darn cool. Day 224 and I was done traveling. It was time to empty all my backpacks that were filled.
Okay, I think that's enough wood.
This also means that we gotta start working on our base, and luckily we had so much room to work with. The only problem with all the workers is that they constantly eat all my food, so I always have a food problem. Day 225 and it was time to start learning about mods. This mod in particular was called Thaumcraft, and it was basically the Harry Potter of all of the mods. I actually spent several days on this mod because everything is overly complicated. But to sum it up to you, anything that looks like a small dagger or gemstone is part of this mod. Now that I had the basic knowledge about Harry Potter Minecraft, the first thing I had to do was build the button so we can continue this series, please. I found a rubber ducky spawner and I kind of just didn't know what to do with them, so I kind of killed them all. This was a terrible idea because then they started attacking me and they turned into demons and they kept on attacking me. I portaled out of there because they just kept on spawning on me and they kept on attacking me. You remember those night guys that we just killed? Well, turns out they do drop their armors and we can put that on our workers, so now they look hilarious. Look at Dave, you can't even see his eyes. We made your mama look like some with his helmet. I was really happy of our last day adventure, so I just kept going this day as well. This weird dog with wings used to scare us, but now we are ultimate Super Saiyans and we crush them. Wow, this looks super suspicious again. I bet you that's just some sort of nuclear. It was actually just some decent loot. Here, it's me killing Minecraft girlfriends. We did find a village though before the night.
Oh, thank you, nighttime.
Cows went through that portal, so I kind of clipped it a little bit. On top of that, the portal gun I used in order to move the cows was the same portal gun I used to go between my two bases. That meant I had to run all the way back to my original base because I didn't want to go through the was actually setting up Swagger Souls as the person who's gonna breed the cows and also kill them. And after doing almost a whole day of AFK farming, you can see it's actually really efficient. The day after, I started setting up some room for some furnaces because I had a lot of food, but it was all raw. And of course, I needed a lot of chests. What the Swagger Souls? You're opening up the door! He's letting all the cows out! I forgot that these workers can open and close doors, and now he's released an army of cows on me, and they're attacking me for some reason. So now that Swagger Souls has turned against me, I had to go and craft a piston so I could push the glass back in. There were so many cows down here, I couldn't just place the block, and I couldn't even use the piston because there were so many. After spending an entire day's work, I was finally able to push in the glass.
Was that
block
chocolate, man?
Look at this evil bastard's face. It was his plan all along. Before I went to bed, I decided to take all my old farm, finally able to push in the glass block to push them all in. Look at this evil bastard's face. It was his plan all along. Before I went
He
to bed,
said
I decided to take all my old farms
Section
from my
1
old
is
base
not
and then
family
take them so I
friendly.
could put them in my new base. Next day, I started placing in my other farms because I wanted a little bit of everything. Yeah, so not really anything special, just normal farm stuff. The first order of
Wow, completely missed this chat. Ooh, 2 chaos emeralds.
And then I just finished up all the rest of my farms. We also learned how to make a giant furnace. This mod was called Tinker's Mod and it required all those black blocks, so good thing I didn't make my cow farm out of it. But I had nowhere near enough, so I had to actually get clay, which was kind of a problem because there were so many mobs in the water. But I was finally able to do it. The next day I had to smelt this clay mixture, which would turn into this black stuff, and that black... stuff would help us make us...
I killed the dog to see what it looks like in this texture pack.
Because I couldn't collect it, but turns out I didn't give enough material so it couldn't form into a block. I know that now, but during the time of the recording, I didn't know that, so I was really mad at my Twitch chat. Day 204, I was confused at first, collected. The next day I learned I needed a faucet which drained the melted ore into a casket and then I can collect the ore then. This was super cool to do the first time and it looked so sick. I was confused at first because I couldn't collect it, but turns out I didn't give enough material so it couldn't form into a block. I know that now, but during the time of the recording, I didn't know that, so I was really mad at my Twitch chat. Day 249, and it was time to go back working on my furnace, and oh my god, there's a giant hole in my base. So it turns out there was a water source nearby, because when my miners keep on digging, they don't care about anything, so they just put a giant hole in my base. It took me the entire day to patch this up, because it's so hard to move in water. Big day 250, we spent upgrading our furnace and cleaning it up a little bit. The taller it is, the more spots of ores you can put in. And yeah, it's basically finished. And oh yeah, all my workers somehow died. I don't understand where the workers keep going. I mean, yeah, they work for free, but why do they have to keep dying? It's been a long time coming, but what I have here, I crafted a priest, and basically the priest should resurrect everyone that has died. I just realized this means everyone who's died, even in the previous 200 days. Oh my goodness, they're all back. Ricardo, your mom, your dad, even Goatsock blocks for one. I also put a priest downstairs to resurrect both swagger souls, but the only downside is that they lose their armor, so oof. The next day I just had to get some chores out of the way, like I had to pack up some of the workers because I had too many of them. I also had to recraft a lot of tools because when they die, they still lose it. I also noticed that all the mining is basically done inside my base, but I couldn't put them outside because then they
No, I would have been the same.
Day
Stupid.
252, I realized I never tried out the smelt race, so I put in a lot of iron ore. The pros of this
What the hell is
is
that?
actually pretty awesome. I was a little bit worried that it was red, but
Why is all the ore?
problem again. The next morning I realized I was kind of tired of all this base stuff, so let's go on another adventure. I killed a lot of rubber duckies, took down a ghost house, and you already know, a couple of castles. And then I just went back home. I realized the next day we worked so hard on this portal room, but we don't actually have any portals in it. Because of some
Alrighty then.
you can actually make this any size.
Hope you guys enjoyed this silent episode of Minecraft. Goodbye.